All right, everybody, welcome back with the Plat. Purplatypus' name, and welcome to another Unicorn Overlord video. Today, we're going to be talking about my offensive go-getter here, Travis the Rogue. This is the promoted class for the Thief, and yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. Basically, this is kind of a follow-up to the last video that I did, because I honestly just think that this is like a fucking insanely good class. I thought that maybe they were going to fall off, and now I'm thinking maybe they're not going to fall off because they just don't get hit unless an enemy is doing something that hard counters it, right? But let's go ahead and look into it. So what is different? We're going to kind of gloss over what makes them different than the Thief, or what makes the, their Thief stuff. We're going to kind of go over the new stuff. So they get, I think actually everything here is the same. I think their mobility might actually be 10 points higher, but that would sound weird. So it's probably not, but I thought it was 160. Either way, basically what's going to change about them is it's going to be their skills. They get 2 more active skills and 1 more passive skill. So actually, I know I was saying in the previous video that I think everything got 3 and 3. They actually don't get 3 passive skills. You see this toughness here is actually from the power belt, which is an item that I think maybe is good on the character. I haven't decided yet, but I think this character really comes together once they are upgraded. So you get your passive steal, you get your toxic throw. This allows him to be like a backline damage dealer, right? You know, it depends. It could be okay damage against things with really high HP, or it can help you kind of kill things in the back row. It's not the best ability, even though I do kind of like it for like damage over time builds. Like if there's a dragon with 600 HP, this kind of shit's gonna be badass, right? But as far as most situations, I tend not to use toxic throw that much. Passive steal, same old, it's classic, probably what you're using the most. But this first new ability, Shadow Bite, oh buddy, I love this ability. It does almost no damage. You could think of this almost as a shaman ability, but it's a shaman ability that does deal some damage. One good thing about this doing low damage, it means is you can equip swords that you don't care about the physical attack on, right? 3 initiative, 10 evasion, and extra gold. This is a very good sword because you don't really care about the physical attack. Now, ironically, the physical attack on this is good, but the point is you could do all kinds of different swords. You find other things with other effects that are not damage related, like maybe you just want to do a fire slash, you know, who knows? Or even just the heaven sword. But because I only care about the evasion, the bandit sword also gives me some initiative and extra money. So what does it do? Inflicts blindness. So this is just makes it fucking even easier. Blindness makes something miss their next attack. So it's in order to see exactly verbatim what it does, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't work on magic attacks, right? But let's take a look. A blinded character will miss their next attack. Never mind. It doesn't say anything. I assume this True Strike ignores this. I am assuming. I haven't interacted with that specifically enough to know. But this doesn't say it'll be magic attack. It doesn't say it'll be physical attack or ranged attack. It says they'll miss their next attack. That is so strong on an AoE. Sorry, let's go over here. It is a row of enemies. And on top of that, it lowers their initiative by 20. So this is almost like a battle cry. It's going to make it so when they attack, they all are going to basically waste an action at least. Then when they actually get to go, it'll be later in the combat. They're also going to have lower evasion. So all your characters that maybe are high damage, low chance to hit, this kind of does it all, in my opinion. It's a great defensive ability that keeps your characters alive. It also lets you go first, so you get the alpha damage, meaning you have a chance to kill enemies before they even have a chance to go, so you don't need to worry about them attacking in the first place. And then it also makes them easier to hit for your high damage nuking characters. So insanely good ability. Now it is coming at the cost of damage, so you want a lot of damage to back this up, and that's kind of what this build is. But I'm not going to talk too much about this team. I'm going to do a full video on this later once it's actually finished, but I'm still kind of theory crafting exactly what I want it to do. But it is as dumb as it looks, trust me. Active steal is exactly what it sounds like. You steal all of an enemy's actions. That means if you go first, this is what's crazy. If you go first, you have 2 AP, right? If you go first and another enemy has 2 AP, you take their 2 AP. They have 0, you have 2 again because you stole it. But it has to mean that they don't guard first. But this means you literally get to steal their whole combat, and you get to go again. You know, you won't be able to do that exact same thing twice in a row unless they have like 3 AP and you take, they use 1 and then you take their last 2. But basically, this could be a zero cost skill that stuns an enemy permanently, essentially, for that combat encounter. So absolutely insane. Now, the caveat is that it does not apply if they guard the first hit, is a very, very real downside. However, our other new passive skill, Sneaking Edge, for 1 PP, just one, attack a single enemy with first strike. So the combat starts, you hit them twice for 50 potency each. This is a ranged, uncoverable, limited. Limited is a negative, but the other two are good. Limited just means that you can't have multiple start of combat limited abilities active at the same time. It'll happen in initiative order. If you have this and another attack that triggers at the start of combat and they're both limited, only one of them is going to trigger. It's restricted to having one limited at a time. But uncoverable and range, you can target anybody you want. It inflicts guard steal and passive steal. That is such a crazy good combination. Guard steal meaning they just can't fucking guard, right? That means you're guaranteed to hit them with your active steal. You're guaranteed to hit them with your passive steal. And your other characters are guaranteed to deal a shit ton of damage. Absolutely crazy, because they're not going to be able to get the 50 or 75% resistance unless someone comes in and covers them after the fact. So it's not foolproof. There are still ways to play around it. But what's really important is the passive steal. This means you could use active steal that they can't guard against, that steal their active, and then this also seals their passive. So this is completely like locking a character out of the combat. This basically can ensure that for the cost of basically 0 action points, right? For the cost of 1 PP, and let's assuming you're getting your action points back, so you're gonna go kind of down last to initiative because you're gonna do this first. For basically the cost of making your thief skip their first turn, their first round, you get to have a 5 versus 4 combat every single time, essentially, right? Now, it's not going to make it that much easier to one round a lot of things. It will in some, when things can block and stuff. I think it's mostly going to be to keep certain things alive, to keep certain enemies from doing really, like if an enemy team has a very combo centric thing, like a great example could be there's that team that is like double shaman, double fucking gladiators, and it's just like you can, at that stage of the game, it's so hard to kill them, which is being fair. Not that they deal any damage, but it's almost like this is like an internal self-healing engine, because they offensive down, heal, 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 heal. So it's really hard to actually break through that. I mean, of course a team could do it, but this kind of stuff could just take one of those guys out of the entire fight for the rest of the fight. You don't got to worry about it. They can't heal with their passive heal. And then they also can't even attack because they've lost their attack. And so now your characters could just wail into that character and probably kill him. Sorry, I had a hiccup there. But yeah, I think that this has become one of my favorite characters. Plundered 2 is okay. I don't think money is infinite, so you don't really got to worry about this. But hypothetically, in a world where you're not doing auxiliary battles, this could be pretty good. You get a 3rd accessory slot. This is kind of what I'm really like building right now. So this is not a very complex tree, as you can see right now, right? I only really care about using Shadow Bite because I really care a lot about the evasion. The evasion is super important for my team because my team has low accuracy, right? Not super low accuracy, I'm compensating for it, but this attack that they're trying to do, the rolling axe, has a 75% hit chance. So it's just pretty low accuracy to hit in general. But so I'm using the Lucky Coin, which, everyone knows that. And then I'm using the Silken Scarf, which of course everyone knows that. The Bandit Longsword, which is getting me up to 120 evasion at level 20. And then I have the Power Belt. This is a flexible slot. This is the new slot. You could use it for an extra AP. You can use it for an extra PP. I feel like the PP is a little bit going to waste. I haven't felt the need for it because I'm dodging so many things passively that the things that hit me, the evade doesn't work on anyway. You could even go, with more initiative. And you can go more damagey if you want to use something like the Ironman's Patch, but that's not really what this character is doing on this build for me, at least. But so the reason I'm using the Power Belt is that plus 10 HP, 1 physical defense, both good, but activates before being attacked, grants the user a buff to endure 1 lethal blow. So this is, I haven't figured out how to do the condition exactly how I want. I basically want it to only activate when someone uses a True Strike ability, right? Meaning He'll never, ever, ever use toughness until an enemy is about to hit him with a true strike ability, and then he will use toughness because he could die in one hit. It's not unreasonable. Even at 44 HP, this is not the early game anymore. We're well into the mid game at this point, right? Other level 20 characters, right? He's got 46 HP, and he's not even having anything that buffs it, right? This guy has a bonus 10 HP from this, so he's really at 34. And these other, so he's got low HP and low physical defense, low magic, not the lowest magical defense, but maybe average magical defense. I think that's why I have it when archers are present. That means if an archer attacks him, so basically what's kind of weird about this is because I don't really know how to set this up, but if there's an archer on their team, and if anybody on their team attacks me, I will use toughness. So I will get a buff that lets me endure a lethal blow, even if that attack would miss. So it is a little bit weird, but I am trying to figure this out, but I do think this is a really, really good ability on it, because sometimes if they just have a true strike ability, you're just going to get screwed. But I think this is a condition I'm going to have to change based on the fight, because I haven't seen anything here that's like, combatant status, true strike. I just see poison afflicted. I could do buffed, target only combatants with buffs or something. Like if they attack me and an enemy is buffed, then maybe, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But overall, I would say the rogue is a high tier character in my opinion. It's hard to say because so many things are so powerful at this stage. But I gotta say, I really think the Sneaking Edge active steal combo is just pretty darn strong. That is after you have to get up to level 30. But even then, I think the Shadow Bite is just like pretty great. A little bit of damage. Blindness is a huge deal. Makes them a fucking fantastic frontliner. And then it also essentially guarantees that your team goes first. Because even if they have their own Shadow Bite and you're faster, you're still inflicting their guy with -20 initiative. There are some extreme cases where your character won't go first with a 20 initiative advantage. But even then, that's not like that huge of a deal. Almost all the time they will. Badass character. I want to call them. Oh, that's kind of nice. I didn't even realize that you got this kind of stuff here. Some nice little artwork. Oh, you get to see their normal one. I'm actually wondering. Let's take a look at the. Oh, these guys don't have it. Okay, it's only for the named characters. Still, that's pretty cool though. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this one. I forgot if I forgot to thank my members and my supporters. I hope I did. I'll edit it in even if I didn't. Either way, thank you very much everyone for the support. I am gonna go to bed. Had to get a couple of videos ready because I gotta work a lot the next few days. But man, what a fucking fantastic game this has been. I'm gonna make another video on that. All right, peace out, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Maybe one of my favorite jobs. Maybe not quite my favorite. We'll get to that, but way, way, way up there. One of the ones I recommend you probably get pretty early.